Like, I'm on LinkedIn all the time, and I see so much AI hype to your point of, "It'll do this, it'll do that, you can fire this person and that person." I'm going, "Well, wait a second. Every time I try it, it doesn't do those things. So either I'm stupid or you're wrong, or maybe both." Um, and I also see, to a lesser extent, I see the doomsdayers who say, "Oh, AI is gonna completely destroy or kill this, that, and you should never touch it and just stay away." So, I feel like the answer is probably somewhere in the middle. So I'm really curious as to your answer of just what are some things that AI can do well, and maybe some things that maybe it can't do well? Like, talk to me about that 7-year gap a little more.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we look primarily at generative AI, which is probably the one that most people are familiar with now, ChatGPT as an example, and then all the other types of generative models that are out there, all called large language models, which are basically taking, you know, language and then rewriting it in different ways. A good example of what large language models do is um, there's predictive artificial intelligence. So if you're using like an email program or even on your phone now, if you're texting a message and it predicts what the next word is so that it makes it easier, that's all various forms of large language models. And so you put a prompt in and you can say, hey, write me an article that's 100 words in the style of Shakespeare, and it will do it. So, from a basic premise, it's great because it can be leveraged as a mechanism for brainstorming. It could be leveraged as a mechanism for organization. It can give you insights or ideas that you may not have been able to think of your own. So, let's say the two of us are sitting in a room and we're brainstorming an idea for your next podcast episode, and we're going to have a whiteboard and maybe we jot down some ideas. You could go into ChatGPT and say, give me 20 ideas for my next podcast. You read through them and you pick the ones you like. And so, from a brainstorming and collaboration perspective, it's a great tool. Where I think a lot of people are misguided is that large language models come from existing content. So there's no originality in this. So just because we came up with 10 ideas for potential podcast episodes through ChatGPT, all 10 of those somebody else has already done. Not a single one of those are going to be original because that's not how it works. It can't come up with an original, unique, one of a kind type of response. What you have to do is then do the additional search or research to say, okay, I like these 10 ideas. I like this one, but I'm really looking for something, more original. Can I change this and leverage my own thought process in terms of how to evolve that idea into something more original? And so that originality is the part that I think a lot of people are concerned about. Especially, there's a lot of news going on right now with the United States Copyright Office, where if you output something leveraging a large language model, generative AI, and you try to copyright it, it's going to get rejected because it was solely written by artificial intelligence, which means it's not original. It needs some sort of human author component into that. And even then, you could argue that, if I just change a couple of words here and there, would that be original? And in most cases, it's not.